This is day 1158 of Arukh HaShulchan. Our sponsor, coming share more of Arukh HaShulchan. Please come me directly. Be greatly appreciated. They're doing your idea. Simon Kufyud Beis, Sif Chav Vav, to Simon Kufyud Gimel, Sif Gimel. Chavav. Voni Kilu Pass, Harbe Kulos, Kafilu Pacha, Pachas Michitu, Gechol Mahani. There are many leniencies which are lenient with Pas Akum, including that something less than breaking the coals suffices to make a bishul pas Yisrael. Much closer, I was saying about Shulchan Sif Tes. They write Hili Kuti Tanur for non-Jew lit the oven vafa bo Yisrael and Jew baked in it. O Shidli Yisrael vafa Kuti, or the Jew lit the oven and the non-Jew baked. O Shidli Kuti, or the non-Jew lit vafa Kuti and he baked. Voice of Nia Ishmat, and the Jew came and shook the fire a little bit. That's sufficient. Even he only threw one piece of wood into the oven. He did call Pashabo allows all the bread in that oven. Only required is that there be uh, a reminder that their bread is also. And if you blew at the fire, have it kechitui, some blowing with the bellows. No, I'm wrong. If you blew at the fire, it's as if you rake the coals. End quote. Doesn't make a difference if you blew with your mouth or with a bellows. And even if the coal is already the whispering, meaning it's the high heat, and the wood is burning. The blowing works. Because by blowing, it adds more heat. Every heat brings the cooking closer. Every twig adds to the heat of the oven and brings the cooking closer. I have to say here to the same thing. I don't see mentioned here that the Ramah is more Mekel than the Mechaber, which I think is supposed to be the case. Let's see, Chav Zayin. Is very right. If they bake 3 ovens full by a non-Jew in one day, verse 2 times a Jew threw in the twig, and third time he did not. Mutzar, it's still permissible. But tam, meaning, the reason is the since in the last baking there's still something left from the coals which burned in the first heatings. Some when they did render the oven okay by putting in a twig. Yes, then the third time it's fine. Yes, so they wrote more. If you only kasher the oven once, and the oven did not stand after that for 24 hours without having something burned in it. And even they bake for several days without interruption, 24 hours. Everything is missing. We call on account of the first hechsher. You can line this by the time she'll do it, the reason is that it's known. She calls man shatanur dayin cham, as long as the oven is still hot. Mola has taken what? Just a little bit of ignition suffices. It's as if it's still the first stoking of the oven is still extant. Because on that account you don't need to have to make a heavy fire this time around. Everything is considered to be part of the first stoking, which you rendered okay by tossing in a twig. He's all great coolest. Only if you're in a pinch should you rely on this. But to begin with, ab initio, as they say, you require one of the 3 conditions that the Gemara mentions. So either to stoke the oven, or rake the coals, or put the bread in the oven. Anytime you have a suffix in this matter, you go lenient. Suffix rabbanon. You're not sure if a Jew rendered this oven full kosher or not. shar suffix or any other suffix, hochin lakel. Because I'm shari dura. Pashinu. It's obvious. I feel it's a gomer rabbanon kaiman sacred rabbanon raising rabbanon kula. Even in a full blown it's the rabbanon we hold sacred rabbanon kula. Certainly when in one which has many leniencies to begin with, like pasakum. Kavches odkas kula gedola with seafood base. They were a very big kula. Now shona as we say of a pas lochi to yisrael lochisa. The non-Jew bake the bread without a Jew raking the coals and without a tree throwing in a tree. I feel korma pnei pas panor, even if the crust is already formed in the oven. The raking of the Jew works as long as the bread still requires the oven, meaning that it's still going to get improve after the baking. Yesh are those who say Shafil Hotzi Apas, even if you took the bread out. Yesh like zero tanur, there is an eitzah to put it back in the oven. Aidei Yisrael by a Jew. Even mashbiach, it's going to get better when we put it back. I can't show Klamar Shadain loading when afiyasa karaui lios lios. In other words, baking is not fully completed as it could be. Also, the baking is completely complete, but other animal, this certainly is not effective. Avokshloning Maravias says that seems to be what the pre-Chodesh saying. Avokshloning Maraviaso, but when the bake is not complete, even though some people like it, not fully baked like that. Though those who would leave it later more long in the oven, then the raking of the coals works. In brackets it says perhaps in this case he needs specifically raking the coal, or not just enough, it's not just enough to toss in a tray. Or maybe can't draw a distinction between or does not come to conclusion. Even though there are many leniencies, the chito the shlachas kisum means partially Yisrael. I guess the Jew owns the bread, the batter, the dough, which is baked by a non-Jew without any share of raking the coals or shlachas kisam or throwing in a twig. Also, a feeling called kuti is not allowed to sell even to a non-Jew. Because the non-Jew might sell to another Jew. Also, pitim. Eitzah is to make out of it pieces of bread, slices. If it's not a complete loaf, we don't buy non-complete loaves from a non-Jew. Therefore, any bread which is also which a Jew has hold of, he should slice it before selling it. And the flip side is that not to buy slice of bread from a non-Jew. Because we're afraid that maybe it's prohibited bread. And the Jews sold it in that way. However, the bread of soldiers, even though they cut its mutter, there's no concern. We know that they cut and distribute baker's bread, presumably. That's where we eat their bread. But a place where a Jew would buy from the non-Jew. Place where Jews not going to buy for non-Jew, but to call them, I feel passion, you himself them a whole loaf. The bracket says here, by Tash Kosav Das, the Pasi so Yeshudin Shlokos, the Das Hatur, Sham, as a din of Bishul Akum. So here, it's not clear, the Kfar Yisbaros, if you had Lo Kaimon Katur and Sham, and Holy Katur, that even where Pas Akum is not relevant, Bishul Akum is still relevant. Much because of a Shach, now, like the Shach wrote. Lamed, passing him to Mashuk, if you have find bread in the marketplace, time is machines, Mishnah Perek base. Irshi Yisrael Akum Darimba, if you have a city in which Jews and non-Jews live, Matzah Pass, and you found bread in the street, you go after the majority bakers. You saw Pas Isa, if it was a bread made out of dough, Klomar, Pas Ba'abais, a bread made by a private individual, Pas Isa, Upas Kibo. We go after the majority of people who eat either normal dough bread or pas kibur is coarse bread. Very isa, and it says matzah pas derech holchin acharov of the rachim. If you find bread on the street, you go out to the majority of people walk down the street. The Robi Yisrael, majority are Jews. Pas mutzah, the bread is permitted. You allow us if not forbidden. You have the mechza, 50-50 also. I've got this kalu. Even though it's a light isser, as we've seen, less than the majority, you can't be lenient. Namav, Kamishin is by the Pas Harbe Kilu Chachamim, looking Bishulayim, since we know that there's so many leniencies by bread and not by bishul akum. Yeshavar manikar lechem manikar bishul. To clarify what's called bread and what's called cooked dishes. Lai masha sui beilfas, perhaps that which is made in a pot. Pumva or skverna eno koi lechem. It's not called bread. So we learned the principles here from the halachas of challah. Shon by the isa shibulas ava. There it was clarified that you have a dough with a thick consistency. Avi ma'idei mashkin b'shemen v'dvash, even though it's made by um, liquids such as oil and honey. V'il nasis machvas, even if it's made in a pan. Havi lechem chayim challah. It's red and it's liable challah. Chol shibulas raka. Anytime the batter is soft, the shloidei mashkin. And it's not made by beverages. I feel not as machvas, even if it's made in a pen. Ganken have lechem. Okay, rak. Also, if you listen, raka, only things which have a soft consistency. They mashkin are made with beverages. These have the status of a cooked dish, not bread. Bagel, a krantzlach. Avshem safir nosim with some baroschim, even though bagels after they're baked, you put them into boiling water. It's completely fully bread and has the same status as bread. Kufir Gimel. Ding bishuli over Yachamim l'sha gemar shlakos. Laws of things for non-Jews, which in the world are called shlakos. Av shlakos bishul over Yachamim machal kosher, cooked dishes which are cooked by non-Jew and it's kosher food. Chazal forbade them. It's worse than bread. She's Kodem, where we explained in previous statement, which they were lenient in several details. It shows and also that the decree against bread did not become fully widespread throughout Israel, throughout Jewish people. At least the shlokos, but the prohibition on cooked dishes and the responsible Israel expanded throughout all of Israel. And there's no such concept as chayin nefesh, sustaining life. V'yigzer kamois is an ancient decree. Shkosh goes to a pas, goes to a shlokas. Before they decreed on bread, they decreed on cooked dishes. As in Chul HaKra, they linked it to a pasuk. Hamvur perak ema midim. The darish lamin ocha bakesa tishreini v'gomer. To sell me food, when they went to Edom. I ain't sure, I forget what the drasha is. But in any event, from that we learned that from there we derive as an asmachta bishul akum is also. Umita the tchila gozu aleh. Initially they decreed against it. Mitam chasus, so on account of the marriage. But pas lo gozu, and a bread they didn't make a decree. Mishum lo shaykh bein chasus kokach, because intermarriage is not such an issue. At shabo be'isham ve'hilo. So Shaman Hill came, a goes to be because Dover Gan Pas included in the 18 Xeris, also bread. Ukshitiras Pas, when they were lenient with bread, low itiras shlokos, they were not lenient with cooked dishes. Tremilion to the two separate categories. For Akpash, Ainam Hamishim in the Dogon, only bread which is made not out of the 5 types of grain. Lonachshab B'chlapas is not considered to be bread. Yesh non Bichlag Zero Shlokos, they're included in the decree of Shlokos. Kamash Kosam Simon Simon Koydem, we're going to previous Simon, Sif Yudal Ayin Chum. Back says, Varan goes on to be Kun goes to a pass, Mishum the Shricha Milson Chak goes to Shlokos, the Varan says the opposite. First they made the Korean bread, which is more prevalent, and then only on vegetables. Base, or cooked dishes, I say. Base, Rova Post can cause the time is the Shlokos Shumachas. Most of us can say, regardless, that this is a Bishul Akum is on account of intermarriage. Yeshua says, because the time Shlacheh Dovar, so that goes. So Shri says that you shouldn't come to eat Sunday trade. Rashi's up a Mishnah Sham, Kasam Mishum Chasnus, he writes on account of the marriage. Marashon Kasam Shalom Yichlenu Dover Isser, again, that you should not give something also teeth, Ayin Sham. Perhaps he's trying to explain why they're lenient with bread and not with cooked dishes. Because by cooked dishes there are 2 reasons. And by bread, at least before the modern additives, there's no issue of adding of giving you a davar iser to eat. By bread, we can see the ingredients. Okay, as opposed to cooked dishes. That's a machmir by cooked dishes. Well, pass not by bread. The bracket says, "Zeh shopping mashatorcha tesis v'ran lama pagino tana betarte." Why did Tana divide Bishulakum and Pasakum? We have to say two Xeros. Rashi, as a Shapi, Pshit is kind of what you wrote in Rashi. It works out better and simply because there's there are two reasons by vegetables. Only reason one by Kushlakos. Only one reason by Pasakum. Gimel Kasser B'Sei Bali Taisis. The Taisis Rabbi Zelu showed him as follows. I'm arriving. The body shlokas doesn't call him Shavikakum Vasham Beso. They certainly also cook dishes when the goy cooks them at home. Havik Shavasham Beso Shavu. So, but if he cooks in a Jew's house, and there's no issue of intermarriage. And now he might give you something forbidden to eat. V'lo dalo Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam disagreed. V'adai came with Shumavashal. Once they're cooking, lochel kuchachamim klal. Can not distinguish between ben rishusi, Yisrael, rishuso, when it's done in the Jews' domain or the non-Jews' domain. Kilom yesh l'chut shemo yozer gam beso sheisogam beso, because always be concerned he might not be careful in the Jews' house, just like he's not careful in his own house. Shono, end quote. For Rabbi Sefer Rabbeinu Kabayis Kosav Shemati B'Shem Ari Ben Manoach She'ein Dim Mishloy of the Kohen Avdo Shechasa Knuim Lo. There is no din of Bishul with your slave or your female slave who is owned by you. Since they're being compelled to work, not going to become intimate with them. It's a big chiddush. And the Ramban agrees with Ribar Manoach. Aval b'shein roy lasos kain, even though it's not proper but the Evan mutter. If it was done, it's okay. I can show. Because a rasha b'shmer sabais. Zoshono, no. Vein efresh ben ever shivcha doesn't make a difference. Shlo chilkus they say didn't distinguish in their decrees akal shono. So Rashba or the Ra'ah accepts his Rebbe the Ramban. Rashba rejects his Rebbe the Ramban. Vesh gamatim lo yiti rak b'kniyas lanu, and perhaps even those are matir only allowed where the Ever Knani or Shivcha, the Ever Shivcha Knani, the Ever Knani or Shivcha Knanis are owned by us. Not when they are hired out for a year or more. This had to call mem gimel because of the Yeven Nogin this month they arrive it. The matter basis so after the fact in a pinch, and the Ravid who allows the non-Jews to cook if they are in a Jew's house and they are employees thereof. Uvago shari dur siman ayin hekas shem mishum sadeshin nogim latil aniach shvachos abashil tzos. Shmazet says we allow non-Jewish maidservants to cook and to roast. After the sample, perhaps they relied on that. Somebody in the household must have raked the coals for the purpose of cooking or roasting. And we'll come back to this tomorrow.